All right, Scorpio. Well, for starters, you have four major arcana in the in pertaining to the situation, hopes and fears, and then the outcome. So those are kind of key positions for these to be in. Now, coming into April, you have the King of Wands. So this is an energy of really success in just really a go-getter, but kind of a mature go-getter, not the energy that's just, I'm going to do this and this and this and this. Yes, this is a fire energy. It is a very fiery energy, but it's more of an energy of a matured version of that energy. Just some general words. And when I say mature, emotionally mature, and this could be married, you could be married, they could be married, but also very honest and conscientious and aware, a very intuitive, highly intuitive being. So whether this is somebody that you're with or it's someone that's special that's in your periphery that you're thinking about, this is in your or so whether this is somebody new or somebody in your periphery or somebody you've just started dating, or even if this is somebody, if you're in a committed bond with them, it's a very honest and conscientious individual. And so it's a very good, strong foundation to be bringing into this month. Okay. Now, I'm not sure what's going on, but what I can say, Scorpio, is that the foundation of this reading is the Judgment card. And so you or they might be having some decisions to make and really be having somebody's walking on the street practicing their trumpet. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's so funny. And look, he's playing a trumpet. That is so funny. So this is really, it's a card of change and newness and renewal. So this, you've either just gone through something or are going through something that's going to elicit a lot of change regarding your situation. So maybe there's a deepening of a commitment. And I say that because this is the Two of Cups here, Scorpio. So this is you kind of solidifying a relationship or a situation with a lot of love and giving. So that very well could be what's going on, is that there's the change and renewal is it's deepening of a commitment with either this person or someone that has a lot of fiery energy to them, or you may have a lot of fiery energy to you. And if it's a renewal, you're definitely going to be deepening. You know, relationships always have ebb and flow, and sometimes you kind of have rough times or little arguments, and you kind of separate a little bit in terms of your emotional, like you're kind of disconnected, and then you come back around and there's a recommitment. And that's general. It's very common in relationships, especially long-term relationships. So something new and fresh is coming into your love life, and not necessarily a new person, but a new fresh energy. So what's great about that is this is a beautiful card for it to be crossing it. It's the Wheel of Fortune. You're feeling very fortunate to have them in your life. You want them in your life. They want you in their life. It's just a very good card of, and it's interesting because the Wheel of Fortune is always turning, right? And so you always are going through, there's always ebbs and flows, but it always comes back around. And so if this is kind of a renewal situation, you may have been having the type of energy that is, you've kind of been disconnected a little bit, but now you're just coming back around with each other and being happy and grateful and fortunate. Look how beautiful these cards are together, all the clouds and orange and yellow. So that's a great foundation to the reading, definitely, especially when you're coming from a place of honesty and sincerity and maturity with someone who really can own themselves and is aware of it and makes conscientious decisions. So that's great. You're coming from a place like that, and you're in a really good place right now. Now, grounding the situation is the Six of Wands, and this is a card of victory. So It's a card of you're feeling and they're feeling very victorious. So maybe if you have been going through a little rough patch here and there, or if you're just meeting someone and you finally have met them, you're just like you're feeling so happy and proud that they're in your life, and you're feeling like, yes, I finally found somebody, or we're finally here in this place where we can both feel like we have won, and we both feel content and happy and proud of what's going on. So that's a great foundation to these 4 cards. And even better, crowning the situation is this card of 2 of Cups. Now, it's not the Lover's card, but it's a card of giving and cherishing and wanting to share all that you have with somebody under a spiritual realm also. So it's kind of pledging yourself and each other to each other. And it's just a card of wholeness and giving. And this is even more perfect because in your near future, you have the Queen of Wands, which is also a very adept and loving and caring person that is also a fiery energy. And so this may very well be the same person. All of this might be the same person. And this is you and your situation, pledging your love and deciding to do so and being happy that you did. So with the Queen of Wands, you're really happy about this situation, and they are. These are very similar energies, and they're even stronger that they're. It's coming from the past and going into the future. So if you have just met somebody, they're here to stay for a while, and you like them and they like you. If you're in an established bond, this is them. Now, again, it doesn't have to be a fire sign. It could just be a fiery energy, but they're here to stay, and you're very happy about it. Now, the Queen of Wands, again, very, very successful, very, I always say the word proud when I look at this card, but it's not a card of pride. It's just a card of, I'm here in my life, and this is exactly where I want to be, and I am content, but I'm not just going to sit back in my contentment. I'm always going to be bettering myself. I'm always going to be working towards something. All right. Now, this step, when the Queen of Wands shows up in a reading, it is energy of that other person being interested in you. Okay. So not only are you feeling all this love and abundance towards them, they're feeling it towards you. Okay, there's a lot of emotion here with this card. And a lot of success. This can also be a card of money, although this is a love reading, but you may be very content in your life with them. Now, how you feel about the situation, regardless of the fact that you're making some choices and you are feeling fortunate and they are feeling victorious, and so are you, and there's a lot of love. There, you also have the 8 of Wands. And so on some level, and I think on some small level, you're feeling a little trapped, which makes sense because with water signs, you have a very deep emotions, but you also like your freedom. And so I think you are committed or about to be committed to somebody. But it is also a little scary. And I think you're feeling a little bit trapped, but, not so much like Pisces where they can very easily kind of swim away. Scorpio's not like that, but I think you do have that kind of underlying tension behind, is this really the right choice? So things might be going really well, but long term, you might be a little nervous. So just be aware of that, but keep going with what you're doing because this is a beautiful reading. And then you have the Page of Pentacles. This is the card. This is how they are viewing the situation. Now, the Page of Pentacles is a messenger card. it's a very studious card. So there's a lot of learning going on. They're viewing it as a lot of learning. Maybe they're learning about you and taking time to learn about you. And they're here to assist, but they also see he's offering what he has, whether it's male or female. They're offering what they have to you and to the situation. And they're offering it here too. And so are you. Just don't be afraid. And let me see if there's anything else I want to say about the Page of Pentacles, because it's a very studious energy. Maybe they're going to school, or they're thinking about going to school, and you don't want to be kind of the one that's out in the workforce. And I'm speculating here, because sometimes this does have to do with education. And you are wanting a long-term relationship with them, or a committed relationship with them, but you don't want to be the only one. You don't want them to be like working and going to school when you're only working, because that can take a toll on relationships sometimes. But they could also just be taking time to learn about you, and they could just be reflecting on your situation and how happy they are. And they could just be monitoring and watching the situation and develop. Now, your hopes and fears, you're so happy, Scorpio, that the Tower is showing up in your hopes and fears. So you're very fearful of this all falling apart. You don't want it to fall apart. So if you're in a committed bond, you may have gone through a rough patch and you're starting to feel happy again. And so you're thinking, when is the bus going to come hit me again? But don't think about that. Don't be afraid. Just relish in your happiness and stay where you are, because it's very good. Don't be afraid of it. Now, if this is a new relationship, or someone that's in your periphery that's just barely, starting to come in, and you're seeing a lot of potential there, and there is a lot of potential, you're really afraid of completely committing, because you don't want to be so happy and then have it come crashing down, because that's never fun. But this is just a fear, okay? Keep in mind, this is just your internal fear. They're very excited about it, and they're very happy, and they're very willing to be present, and they're excited about you. Now, the High Priestess in the outcome position is a card of, at the end of the day, it's a card of empowerment and knowledge and bliss, but pulling in all spiritual energies and utilizing them to build whatever you're trying to build. But it also can be a card of the unknown. And so you don't know. It's all just kind of fresh and new and very blissful right now, but you really don't know. And you can't have, especially in a 1 or 2 month time frame, have an all-knowing situation. So I'm getting the feeling that this is a very fresh new energy, even if you're pulling it in from March, and there's still a lot of unknowns. But what you do know is that they're happy, you're both very thankful that you've chosen each other, and you're scared of losing your freedom. They are very excited to be here. You're very afraid of it not working, and you have a lot of, spirits on your side, and they're here to help and assist where needed. Okay? I just love all the warm colors in this whole reading, except for this card. I mean, even this card, even though it's a card of feeling trapped, it's still very warm. Her dress is still very beautiful. Let's see what the Oracle cards say. I can already see how this is going to be very much applicable to April for you. But let's read what the book says. Bravery, sublimation of fear, and moral strength. Most people have decided by the age of 3 or 4 what they must do in order to survive. From this decision, this belief about how the world is, most of our fears and self-limitations grow. Have we the courage to discover and break through these limiting beliefs, awaken to greater possibilities, and go forth with our objectives? We need to transcend our fears and accept the gift of courage. That's beautiful, because you are afraid. It's almost as if you're afraid of being happy, and it's right in front of your face. I mean, it's right here. You have everything you could want in a person or in a relationship, it seems like, and you're both ecstatic, but you're a little hesitant because you're afraid, you don't want it to come crashing down, and that goes with any relationship. But don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. And as we go through life, we have experiences and then we form judgments. And so when something else similar happens, we're like, oh no. But yeah, you have no need to do that because you have everything here. It's a very, very happy and good time you're going to be having in April.